Alright, I really hate this new camera because it makes this look like a really nice jalapeno red, but in fact, it's not as brilliant. But let's just go over the basics here. This is a USA made hammered dog shit peavey. Um, I found it at the local Goodwill. So, it's been pretty beat up. Got some fret sprout here. Don't know what the hell they did here on the bridge. You can also see here that the block isn't screwed down, so it's sitting like this. I'm guessing if somebody just didn't know what the hell to do with this, and maybe it was just sitting around and somebody hadn't touched it in 20 years, something like that. So we're gonna clean it up, and I'm gonna film all that. So, yeah, it's not the best shape, but I got it at the Goodwill. I know the manager over there, so it was actually marked 79, and I got her to change it. But at any rate, this is a strange bridge. It's got boogered up screws. Hopefully, we can use some fender stuff on this, some fender and squire bits. Let's get this camera on the tripod, and I hope that if I sit here in this chair here, maybe you guys can see what I'm doing. Move the camera over here. I want to film these builds because I do these all the time, and I just never end up filming them, so nobody ever gets to see what I do. And unfortunately, people ask after the fact. So anyway, I started to take the strings off this. Somebody has looped them through here. So, I'm just going to get these off. So this is a USA made, which is kind of cool, I guess. I need my little nippers so I can get in here and nip these, but I don't know where they're at. Oh man. Let's see here. Yeah, they ran these wires through here twice because they were having tuning issues, I guess. Same with this one. And that one wasn't through twice. So this is really beat to hell. But it ain't the worst I've seen. It's just that I was like, well, I don't know. But it happened to be at my local Goodwill, so I was like, yeah, guess I'll buy it. Looks like we got a broken string hanging in the E. Might have to get creative to push that out. I see it right there. Let's see here. These guys. Nope, fell right out. I almost dropped the guitar doing it. Okay, so now we got to get this off of here too. I don't know what I'm going to use. I don't really want to use a heat gun. The neck is two pieces right here. Down the middle, I can see the seam. That's kind of cool. So the top of the neck is all one piece. So they basically sandwiched the thing, and I guess I glued the truss rod in there. I don't know. That's crazy. I'm not seeing the seam on the top though, but it's kind of dirty. So, so we're gonna get in here, and I can't imagine these are supposed to be this way. So we're gonna get in here and undo all these and put them back in, and we'll be able to retighten our bolts on the plate there. Let me get my other screwdriver. Usually I like to have a really long Phillips edge for this. Good Lord. I can see some pretty chewed up bits down here. If this was the Squire, I would immediately insert this into the trash, this bridge, but it's not, and I don't know how hard it will be for me to put a fender bridge on here. We might end up just doing that because there might be too much wrong with this one. These are really, for a USA made guitar, this is really a nasty looking bridge. And I wondered if actually the bolts are stripped, because why would somebody leave it like that? And the heads of these are not good. So it does possibly indicate that something is wrong. It must have been really good intonation the way they had it on there. Good Lord. Okay. So let's see. We can get these to tighten. Yeah, pretty chewed up. So I'm probably gonna have to take the tension off of these. Damn it. I'm trying to keep these all kind of similar order. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to pull the springs. Okay, so now we have no tension on this thing. Oh, I see what they did. Fucking idiots. So it won't go down because they tighten these completely flush to the blade edge of this thing. Oh my God. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen done. I've had a lot of guitars that have a lot of fucking stupid shit done to them. So now see how it sits flush. And of course, you know. Anyway. Boy. But these screws are so fucking bad in here. Oh my God. I don't know what to do with this. This is really bad. Okay. I need a really good screwdriver. Jeez. I'm probably gonna have to pull this fucking bridge. God damn. So it should be really similar to a square. You just have to drill the other 2 holes. Man. I can't really get. There we go. I'm gonna pull these out and see if I have some other ones that fit. Because these are bad. It's really kind of scary that a USA made guitar would come with some cheap crap like this. Okay. Yeah, this is some cheap crap. I mean, really cheap. I'm pulling these. I'm not gonna. I want to see if my my other stuff will fit or not. Boy, these are boogered. Man, this poor thing. Oh boy. Then somebody has like just either been in here a million times or tried to, you know, tighten the screws with fingernail clippers or something, you know? Man. Okay. Nothing special on here. Doesn't say made in the USA. Nothing like that. Looks like doo-doo. So that's where we're at right now. Probably go ahead and pull the pick guard too. This is loose. Okay. Well, it's still attached. They didn't twist it enough times. I've seen some of these where they've twisted them so many times, you know what I mean? Smells like somebody's laundry room. I'm gonna be right back with the bridge. You just happen to have one ready to go right here. PW29, made in somewhere other than USA or Mexico. I bought this one at Sam Ash, and anyway, I just want to see here what it's gonna line up. So you totally could just drop this one right in there, and the middle two are perfect, and the outer ones are not. Clears the pick guard. Although I don't want to use it on this guitar because of the simple fact that I don't really like these kind of saddles. They cut into my hand, and unless this is the only thing that I have, I'm gonna use this instead, and I'll just put it all back together. It's not gonna sound any different. I mean, so, and I do have some other ones in my drawer here. Another problem I need is these screws. I've got this one here. Looks extremely similar, doesn't it? So, I don't know. We're gonna have a really hard time using those screws. But if I can get them to go back in there, then I guess that'll work. And I'm looking to see if I have extra screws of any type for this application. And I don't think I do. I've got some Squire and Fender tuners. I might rework the headstock and put some tuners on it. Oh, here we go. These are boogered up too. Not like those ones. Let's see. So, let's just keep it like it was if we can. If we can't, we can't. One thing I might be able to do is take these and give them a smack with a hammer, and maybe they will clean up the head a little bit.
Hey, this is Kiko Rivera from Megadeth. I'm taking over Liquid Metal. Painkiller from Judas Priest. David just telling us the story about Rock and Reel.
That one's okay.
Right, and I was there watching that amazing show. Rest in peace, and Judas playing Painkiller. So yeah, it was an amazing moment for me. I don't know, I was like 20 years old or something.
This one's really, really bad. Man. Okay, so you 2 out of 3. That one doesn't want to go in. There we go. Okay. I need to get this low peen hammer behind me. Let's see. He's so mushroomed out that literally I'm watching the head of the screw flatten. Let me show you guys, and get in here close. So it did clean them up pretty good. But I mean, they're bad, and there's not much you can do about the middle one. The other two aren't rounded out as bad. And like something like this, I would take like another screwdriver, give it kind of a whack to help. It's not jagged anymore, which is nice. What I need to do is figure out what's the spacing on this. So here is a square. It looks exactly the same. This casting is a little bit different on this. So it actually really might be made in the USA. There's no telling. The metal looks a little bit thicker. The block is thinner for the most part. But for some reason, it feels a little bit heavier. So what we have here is these holes. Yeah, the middles line up and the other two don't. So I mean, you can use something like this, but this is pretty specific to the peavey as far as the outside spacing. And they, for whatever reason, they wanted to do that, save 2 extra screws or something. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to get this cleaned off. I have a polish rag someplace. Just don't know what to do with it. There. This is the time to do this if you're gonna, have this completely apart. Get it all cleaned up. Don't put it back in there all smudgy. That's good enough for me. So let's get these saddles on here, and I think the order of these. We're gonna have to completely adjust all this stuff. I've never seen the springs on backwards. That's a new trick. I don't know what that does, but never seen that before. That's a new one. Oh boy, where's my screwdriver? Guess this one worked. All right. No, it's definitely not sitting in there right. I don't know if these set screws are going to be an issue or not. Anyway, I'm not going to film all this. We'll pause the video. When I get this reassembled, I'll be back. Alright, so the bridge is completely assembled. I get it back together pretty good. Then we get to try and make those screws work a little better. But if we don't, we don't. You can probably order some. So get some of this shit cleaned up. So put that in there. And I wish I had some of these. I just don't. I need like something to set it in. There we go. Help get the screw back to a Phillips head shape without jagged spots that look like crap that will cut you. So, I don't know if you guys can see that, but anyway, that's one of my little tricks that I like to do. I work with a lot of metal stuff, so I've learned over the years. But when you tighten these down, don't tighten them down all the way like the other people did. And, you know, the bridge has got to be able to flex. So if you can't flex, you're going to have problems. So let me show you what I did again. So these are stripped. I just kind of set them in here because this will hold them. Still a little bit of weight to it. Take my ball peen hammer and I hit the head of the screw, kind of help flatten it out where it's been blown out. And the screws are fairly cheap and they're fairly soft, so it works pretty easily. And it's a little trick that can kind of help bring back the screw a little bit. So what we're trying to do here is we don't want to spend any money on parts for something if we don't have to, because ultimately this is supposed to be an American-made guitar. If you order Chinese parts on it, you know, you're changing it. So, but I never ever guess this is American made. I don't see anything here that indicates any kind of amazing quality. So, but I do see that the neck is, the quality on the neck is quite nice as far as how it's constructed, but it's not in great shape. It's been abused. So, the body of the guitar feels like it has some weight to it. It's still probably a 2 or 3 piece, 4 piece, maybe even a plywood body. I mean, I don't know. Okay. What I do is I tighten these until I feel the bridge lift, and then back them off. I want this bridge to be flat, no matter whether or not it's been decked or not. So, I'm not trying to like super clean this, but I try to clean the guitar as I go along. And I need to get my rubbing alcohol, figure out what I do with it. So, we'll be back in a second after I do that. And, alright. We got our rubbing alcohol. Sometimes this can cause more damage than good. But, trying to get some of this nasty grime off this pick guard. I mean, the worn look is okay, but and then we got to address the issue with the fret sprout. It's not like terrible, but it ain't great. It looks like I don't see too much wear into the frets. Oh yeah, actually they're really bad right here. Never mind. So, yep. Anyway, I might do a fret job on it if I have to. We'll probably do that later. So we get it cleaned up and we'll string it up. And they wore it all the way through here. It seemed like actually kind of a nice glossy kind of sort of, I don't know, maybe it's nitro type of deal on it. It's got a nice feel to it. I'm hoping that I can find a pick guard that fits this. Go get some humbuckers on this. Put some Seymour Duncans on it. It's like black spray paint over here on this thing. Okay. So, I'm not a fan of single coil pickups, so I mean, like, it's not going to sound good to me. I'm not going to enjoy playing it. It's just not going to work for me. But I guess if I was to want to just make some money on this, I don't know. I can't imagine anybody wanting to buy this thing. Like, I paid too much for it as it is. Yeah, big deal. It's made in the USA. You'd better off to buy a damn Squire. This is a piece of crap. There is nothing special about this thing, what I can tell. So it looks like the block and the pick guard seem to match. Or it's not pick guard, the neck plate. Man, this thing is like grimy, banged up. It's probably somebody paint from their walls on it. Which is nice because that comes right off with rubbing alcohol. But there's so many dents and dings in this that it won't really matter. So this would be better if it was a white guitar because it'd be less obvious of all the dings. So, well, I think we'll clean it a little bit more and come back. So basically though, this is what we got so far. So I did have to go in and do the frets. The ends were pretty bad. I don't want to take too much off of here, but kind of got rid of a little bit of that. Got the most of the plasticky crap off of here. I noticed this. I'm like, oh, how did I not notice that? So these are classic, like Squire type, and this one's got a nut on it. And I don't know if it's just completely different or what the deal is. Okay, so I'm pulling the pick guard, and let's see what kind of surprises we got under here. Doesn't wow, full-size pots. Okay. I don't know. I'm not really interested in removing the neck, but I might have to. There we go. Okay. So, you keep that. So these look like Squire type pickups, but these are decent controls, and the switch is actually quite nice. So, not too bad. So, we'll get in here and get some of this grime off of here. We'll put it back together. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised because everything else has looked very Chinese. Anyway, we'll be back. So, anyway, just getting up a little bit closer in here so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I really should have edited this video a little bit better, probably. So we found a few strange things, but you know, mostly looks pretty typical. So it's all done, and this is definitely, I would say, the best sounding playing single coil guitar that I've ever encountered. And I mean, like, I was sitting here playing metal on it, and it sounded good. Now, this camera really makes this red pop, but unfortunately, it's kind of a little duller of a red, not as vibrant. Same thing with the fretboard. It doesn't really look that yellowy, vibrant. Um, all my guitars, they kind of look better on this camera. Anyway, yeah, this is the Goodwill special. And I got the everything just set up and restrung it. I didn't go too crazy with it. It is floating. That's just because I didn't have any extra springs. I usually do deck them, but it's floating and it sounds fine. It took a little while to get it into tune. But yeah, I mean, like, the tuner's actually super smooth. I don't know what's up with this one here with the nut, but I did a fret job on it and cleaned up all the ends and everything, and got that yucky crap off of the deal here. So left the sticker on it. I'll deal with that later. Took the neck off, checked everything. So she's good to go, man. And I am pretty happy with this. I didn't think it was going to play this well. It's really got a nice neck on it. It's got that really nice profile. The only other guitar that I have that has kind of that profile is this made in Korea 1995. And I believe this also is about the same time period. This is like a 91. So anyway, pretty happy with it. Thanks for watching.